Good morning. My name is Kaylin Henderson with the Houston Health Department, and we are honored to host the Black Heritage Society here at our facility to make an announcement regarding the Martin Luther King celebration.
Good morning. My name is Teresa Brewer with the Black Heritage Society, and we're here to honor our civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We couldn't go this day without saying something or doing something to commemorate his life and his legacy. So I thank all of you all for supporting us in these turbulent times when the weather is not what we desire, but we're here to honor him in spite of that. I'd like to, Black Heritage Society has a special guest here today. I want to go ahead and bring Mr. Billy up. He's going to give us a song.
God bless America, the land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the peak, to the ocean, right before as far as South America, my home, sweet home. Oh, bless South America, my home, my sweet home. God, continue to bless Martin Luther King, a great organizer. My home.
We are honored to be here today to be able to commemorate and honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which would not be honored if we did not have a historic organization by the name of the Black Heritage Society. Its organizer and its leader, whose footsteps we stand in today, Ovid Duncan Tell Jr., now led by Teresa Brewer, who has helped bring the community together around a celebratory parade that we have engaged in for over 30 years. It is 55 years since we lost Dr. King, but none of his spirit and his blessings have left us. We're reminded by his words. You will hear soon from his nephew, Dr. Derek King, who carries with him the armor of the King family and its message. But I'm here today to say to Houston, we are well when we call ourselves and act like the beloved community that Dr. King chose to build. And we are honored when we are reminded of his words and his instructions, such as why we can't wait, and the dreamer, recognizing that deep down in each of us, there is more than the color of our skin, but there is a character and the integrity of our person. And that is why we have gathered here today, in spite of what I'm reminded of the night before his death. When these words ring in my ears, there will be some difficult days ahead. It's important for us to know as a community, as a state, and as a nation, there'll be some difficult days ahead. But what Dr. King has given us in the 55 years that we have lost him, from the time of his birth, that even in those difficult days, there is victory. Houston, the parade will not be held today, but the joy of his life can be commemorated by each and every one of you. So we in the Black Heritage Society ask that each of you, each family member, wherever you are, will at one point today take a moment of silence to be able to honor our beloved Dr. King, who spoke of the beloved community. We are honored to be able to bring to Houston a dynamic leader, a man that has given more life to the Constitution of the United States, who is not a respecter of color, but only responds to those who need justice. He works with all people. He works with law enforcement to vulnerable families. He is gratified to be able to use the nation's Constitution to do his work. And every time I've seen Attorney Ben Crump, he has been holding and lifting up the Constitution, and he has brought comfort to families who are in need. That is why the Black Heritage Society chose the Honorable Ben Crump to represent the beloved community. For we have never seen him say an unkind word. We've always seen him extend his hand of fellowship and friendship. And we are honored today to present him as our Grand Marshal for the Black Heritage Society, and to be able to give you comfort and courage and belief that the parade will come. And we will soon hear, as I said, from Dr. King, the parade will come, and we will be able to commemorate the parade, and we look forward to the return of Attorney Ben Crump. Listen to him at this time.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. Thank you for your leadership in these very challenging times. Thank you to the Black Heritage Society for remembering that despite the weather, we must continue to exalt the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. It is times like these, Congresswoman Jackson Lee, Reverend Dr. King, that we must remember one of Dr. King's most profound quotes when he said, the persistent and most urgent question is, what are we doing for others?
Yes, sir.
It is critically important,
Yes, sir.
now more than ever, that we remember the messages that Dr. King tried to share with the world to make us have a better world for all of our children. A world where George Floyd gets an opportunity to take another breath without a police officer having his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds while he says, I can't breathe 28 times.
Say it.
A better world, a better America, where our sister Breonna Taylor gets to sleep in peace without the police kicking in her front door at 1 o'clock in the morning and mutilating her body with 8 bullet holes while she's practically naked in her own apartment. A better world, a better America, where Ahmaud Arbery gets to run free without being lynched for jogging while black, not in 1940, not in 1950, but in 2020, in our day, Teresa. And that's why Dr. King's messages are so important today. He talked about, it's not about how long we live, but it's how we live that makes the difference. And so I would be remiss if I ended my comments without referring to his letter from the Birmingham jail, which I believe is one of the greatest essays ever written in the course of human history. And everybody remembers the part, Reverend King, when he gave the famous verse, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Yes.
But I tell you, I think what is just as profound in the letter from the Birmingham jail is when he said that we as moral people have an obligation to oppose injustice when we see it.
Yes.
He said we can't call ourselves good people if we see evil and look the other way. And he reminded us, Congresswoman Jackson Lee, just because they tell us it's legal, that don't make it right. He said we must remember everything that Hitler did to the Jews in Germany, they said was legal. He reminded us in the letter that they said slavery was legal, but that didn't make it right. He reminded us that segregation was legal, but that didn't make it right. So in 2024, when they try to tell us things like banning black history in the schools is legal, we have to tell them, just because you say it's legal, that don't make it right. When they try to ban our black books and tell us it's legal, we must tell them what Dr. King said in the letter from the Birmingham jail. Just because you say it's legal, that doesn't make it right. I conclude with Dr. King telling us that the coward will ask the question, is it safe?
Say it.
He said expediency will ask the question, is it politically correct? Then he said, oh, vanity comes along and asks the question, Charlie, is it popular? But then he said conscience. Conscience comes along, Teresa, and asks the question, is it right? And Dr. King concluded that there comes a time when one must take a position that's neither popular nor politically correct or not even safe. But Reverend King, he said there comes a time when we must take a position because our conscience tells us it is the right thing to do. Brothers and sisters, on this Martin Luther King Day, I tell you it is the right thing to do to stand up for our children's future. It is the right thing to do to speak up for our children's future. It is the right thing to do to fight for our children's future. Because if we don't fight for our children's future, we can't expect anybody else to fight for our children's future. And we have to be ready to fight for our children's future until hell freezes over. And then we have to be ready to fight on the ice. That's how important our children gotta know we believe in them. And they're right to have the American dream be real for them too. I thank you, Teresa, for this wonderful recognition as the Grand Marshal of the Martin Luther King Parade. And I know when the weather gets better, our community will get an opportunity to celebrate Dr. King in the appropriate manner as we march through our community, saluting our hero. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well said.
Just a second. Thank you for those words of encouragement.
Thank you, Reverend King. Thank you.
And we're delighted to have Mrs. Ovi Duncantel here. We talked about his spirit, and we make sure we have our Buffalo Soldiers. It is a historic component of our history. And I want to make the point that as my Attorney General of the nation, if I might say, his commitment to the beloved community is in the representation of the people of America. His clients come from the white community. They come from the Hispanic community. They come from the Native American community. They come from the Southeast Asian community, the Jewish community, all different faiths. Every one of the aspects of difference in America, I have seen Ben Crump go to their aid. And so when the Black Heritage Society had to think about who would be representative of the beloved community, some of you think of him as the fighting lawyer, and everybody wants a fighting lawyer when they are in need. But what I have seen, working from the United States Congress, that when he shows up at the White House, or shows up in the House of Representatives, or shows up at the United States Senate, he is bringing families from across the nation, families from the deep Midwest to the deep South, and they all look different. That is the beloved community. And the only thing the beloved community asked, and Dr. King represented, is that you must care for each and every one.
Yes.
The Latino child, the Caucasian Anglo child, the black child, children of faith, the Muslim children, and children of different faith, different backgrounds must be cared for. And that's what the beloved community is as we present this award to you.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman.
He's gonna speak.
Better get 7.
I'm speaking to Mike here. Speaking to Mike. Turn this way.
Attorney Crump,
Yes, sir.
because you have performed
Yes, sir.
and carried out similar Buffalo Soldier assignment,
Yes, sir.
Buffalo Soldier recognizes you as a spiritual Buffalo Soldier.
Yes.
Right?
He is a soldier.
Carry on your work.
Thank you so much, sir. This is truly an honor. I'm a huge fan of the Buffalo Soldiers. Yes, sir. God bless.
Everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I think
Go
that's
kiss
it.
that flag. Thank you so much.
The nephew of Dr. Martin Luther King, the son of Martin's brother, beloved brother, A.V. King.
Yes.
And one that I love and admire for his commitment to justice. And now his very son is right here with us in Houston, Texas. What an honor for him to be here today.
Thank you,
Yes.
Dr. King is often quoted and will be often quoted today. I'm going to join in the chorus of those who quote Dr. King today and remind you that he talked about the fierce urgency of now.
Yes.
There are some things we cannot delay action on now. There are some things that we cannot put off. We have to deal with it now. Don't be discouraged because of what has happened to the parade now. The parade is not dead. It's not in cardiac arrest. It's not in a coma.
All right now.
Weather prevented the parade from being executed today. It is not canceled. It is postponed.
All right now.
And there are some urgent matters that we have to deal with now.
Right now.
The attorney reminded us of how difficult the times are. Our Congresswoman reminded us how difficult the times are. So in the face of that reality, we have to act now. I would urge you, in the spirit of Dr. King, all of the pioneers, heroes and sheroes of the civil rights movement who have left us and those who are still here. One thing the late Congressman John Lewis was passionate about was something that we all have the constitutional right and privilege to do. Vote now. If you're concerned, as somebody alludes to, the soul of America and the future of America, it's time to vote now. You can't sit in the bleachers and expect to win the game.
All right now.
You got to get on the field and play now. So now we are confronted with a question that our representative put to the audience at the gala buffet Saturday night. What are you doing for others now? So to Teresa Brewer, board members of the Black Heritage Society, our gladiator, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee,
Yes.
don't get weary. Don't give up. If it seems you at the end of your rope, don't let it slip through your hand.
All right now.
Tie a knot in it and hold on.
All right now.
Okay. Let me ask our business ladies from the business to come forward, please. You're leaning hot chicken, please come forward, both of you.
Big chicken.
And we want Dr. King to remain because we want to bring everyone, we are concluding, and we want Ray Page to be able to come and stand when it's appropriate. We want everyone to stand. The Buffalo Soldiers, we need you to come, please. Buffalo Soldiers, did you?
Word to all the sponsors.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna give. I'm trying to get. Buffalo Soldiers, please come. No, I'm gonna give you. I'll just look at this. Just want to make sure everybody sees you, business women that are supporting the Martin Luther King, honoring. He needs us to squeeze in. I don't know if we identified the history of the Buffalo Soldiers that have fought in every war as they were designated in the 1800s. And when there was a war that looked like we couldn't win, the nation would call on the Buffalo Soldiers. And they were named that because of the woolliness of their hair. Their hair had not been seen, and our Native American friends knew what the buffalo hair looked like. And so they called them the Buffalo Soldiers. I'm honored to be able to stand in their presence. But this is the core. It's the core, but it is not the last. The Black Heritage Society embraces, as I said, all communities in Houston. And I think it's important for our message as we close to listen to all the supporters, all the corporate sponsors. And I will close with a word of challenge to the community. But I want us to thank our leader, Teresa Brewer, who will come and indicate all the support that we have gotten. And you can see the array of people that have been working, representing the late Ovi Duncantell and Mrs. Duncantell, representing the King family, the King family. We are lucky in the city of Houston that we have one of the strongest remaining leaders of the King family in his nephew, Dr. King. He doesn't have a different name, he is Dr. King. He is Dr. King's nephew. He is Dr. King's mother and father's grandchild, and I'm honored to be in his presence. So let us bring forward Teresa Brewer, and I'm honored to be in her presence. Thank you.
Just thank Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee for all the efforts and what she does for the community, supporting us, and really, you all, I just talked to Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee probably around 12 midnight when I had the chest pain, the heartache. So, and she came to our rescue. So, want to thank her for helping me get this together and making it happen. We want to also thank our corporate sponsors. You know, they gave a lot, and our vendors, they were ready. We believe in entrepreneurship. We believe in empowerment. So, you know, all of these people came together to want to see the Martin Luther King holiday be a success. We have United Airlines, we have Stella Bank, we have HEB, we have Houston Methodist Hospital, we have, let's see, I want to make sure I don't miss any, but we do have quite a few corporate sponsors. We also want to thank City of Houston Special Events Department and Radio 1. We have ABC 13 that was coming as part of helping us to make sure this is a success. So we want to thank all of those corporate sponsors and small business people, because we couldn't do this without each and every one of you. But most importantly, we want to thank all of our volunteers. You know, volunteers is the core of our existence. They come on the parade day and they line up, they get in there and they make sure the parade goes on. We march on forward. So every one of you are important to the Black Heritage Society. I still stand on the shoulders of Mr. Ovite Duncantel, and thank you, Ms. Duncantel, for coming out and always supporting us. But we also have the board member. So we put a lot of effort into it, and we work with the City of Houston. So we're not gonna forget, we shall do it again. We're taking lemons and making lemonade.
All right now.
So thank you, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. Thank you, community.
We thank you. Let us, before we close, honor Dr. King for your presence here today. The United States Congress honors you. We want you to receive this from Commissioner Adrain Garcia, who represents a large segment of our community, and he is one of your Grand Marshals. We want to acknowledge the Shepherd of Bethel's place.
Okay.
Because he is a Grand Marshal.
Yes, he
and
is.
all of them will be coming back to be seen. And of course, we're gonna give Mrs. Duncantel, I'm sorry, you can come stand, both you and Ray Page, to honor the Black Heritage Society. I'm staying here. Do that. We're gonna let the lady businesses, the hot chicken, they look hot. Yeah. And they're gonna hold Honorable Ben Crump, who made their day by tasting their cuisine. We're excited about the small businesses that we have in Houston. We want to promote you, and we want to thank you for your commitment to the beloved community and the equality for all people. So thank you. Ms. Brewer, do you want to come now? Close us out.
Well, today is the day that we honor our civil rights leader. And it's just so befitting to see each and every one of you as we come together and commemorate this day. But we shall do it again. Thank you. Together, yes.
So we are excited. You need to hold both, you have two, so you need to hold. Because it look like you're only honoring.
Just one, I want to honor both of them.
Okay. We're excited about the Black Heritage Society, and I'm going to yield to its leader. But my challenge to Houston is for everyone to accept that they are part of the beloved community, no matter what their background. They are part of the community that Dr. King spoke about, the community that is different. And we want every one of them to be excited to call the Black Heritage Society and say, when is that parade coming? Because we want to be able to honor the memory of Dr. King that talks about all of us, that all of us are equal, all of us are one, all of us in our difference are respected. That's what Dr. King, it's amazing that he spoke this language in the 1960s. Well, we did not keep him past 1968, but he was wise enough to talk about the diverse, beloved community, and that's what the Black Heritage Society stands for. Their name may be the Black Heritage Society, but when you see that parade, you'll see that everyone comes from all over to be able to celebrate the original parade and the honor and the name and the message and the mission of Dr. King. Madam Brewer, you want to commit to them? The parade is coming.
The parade is coming, as we've so many times stated. We will keep you updated as soon as we confirm that date. We'll be on our media, social media websites, as well as we'll be putting it maybe even in the paper. So you all will have that confirmed date. We want to let all our vendors know, that we are working toward getting that day confirmed. So please, let's continue to celebrate this day as we march on to our next holiday celebration for this day. So thank you all for your time. All is not lost. We are doing good. Thanks to our board, our General Committee, our let's see here, who else is here? Vice President Ray Page and Miss Helen Johnson. She was on her way, but she had to go back. So we just want to thank everybody for their hard work, our staff, even our volunteers in the office too. So we just want to let you all know we love you and we're here for you in the community. Thank you all.
Thank you.